Good morning guys, wakey, it's time for another quick wake up call and movement session with me, Coach David. Hope you're all keeping well and you've been having a good week so far. So we're going to start off with a little bit of movement and get a few stretches under our belt and start the day off right. Okay, so we're going to start off with some neck rolls. Okay, so just first of all, side to side with the neck, we're just going to get that neck going back and forth. Try and keep good posture while you're doing this, chest out, shoulders back. With a couple forward, side to side, and then forwards and backwards, okay? And then we're going to finish that with some neck rolls. So one thing I wanted to have a little quick chat with you about today was about something I like to describe as the comparison trap. We're going to do some neck rolls now, so we'll go clockwise to start with for a couple. It is really common, in fact it's human nature for us to compare ourselves to others. Now usually that's fairly innocuous, usually it's not dangerous, it's just your regular peer group. We're going anti-clockwise now. But in these days of social media and mass media, it can be really common for that peer group to expand and actually to include lots of people with really very little in common with. So that can include, sports people, Instagram influencers, even, celebrities and that kind of thing. We'll do some arm circles now, okay? Get big circles with the hands, the end of the arms. So we're going to do a few backwards and a few forwards, okay? So I hear you ask, why is that damaging? Well, a lot of those people actually live incredibly different lifestyles from us, and an awful lot of them we'll go forwards now, curate what those lifestyles look like so that we only get a certain look at them from a certain point of view, which can mean they are very unrealistic and unattainable. So in those cases it can be quite damaging. We'll keep going backwards again for a little bit, because it can mean that we wind up feeling really miserable because we think, why aren't we achieving what our heroes in many cases are able to achieve? What's wrong with us? So how do we avoid that? Okay, we're going to go into some T rotations now. So hips back into a nice hinged position, you get stretched down the hamstrings. Hands down in front, shoulders up, and then we're just going to reach round behind and do a bit of stretch through the thoracic spine. Okay, 10 on each side should do this. Well, there's a couple of things that you can do to try and avoid falling into those pitfalls. One of them, which I like, is to really focus on the actions that you're taking to get to where you want to be. So don't focus so much on the outcomes. Now I know this goes a little bit against what we talked about the other week when I talked about the power of goals. But for this time, just think about putting those goals to one side just for a while and focusing on the actions that you're taking in order to achieve them. So if your goal was to go for an extra lean look, you're trying to lose some body fat, think less about the numbers on the scales and think more about the actions you're doing to achieve that. So that could be, having lean protein with every meal, or making sure you fill a lot of your plate with veggies, or even it could be making sure that you get 8 hours sleep a night, that kind of thing. If you focus on that and less on the actual outcome, you're going to be a lot happier and a lot more satisfied. Okay, nice. You get a nice stretch through the upper back there with that one. Open the gates come next, so we're just going to open up our hips and bring the leg round behind. Okay, so we'll go 10 on this side, and then we'll go 10 on the other. Someone count for me, will you? Okay, so trying to get those hips really opened up and loosened off. Okay, get them out as far and as far back as you can. It's also good for balance, this. So another action you could do to try and avoid this comparison trap is to just try and focus on putting things in perspective. Okay, so what I'm thinking there is, think a little bit less about what you're not happy with and more about what you are happy for. So one little action for this would be, in a kind of formal journaling kind of way. You could just do a note on your phone or write it in a diary. Think about every day what you're grateful for. Should be a few things that you can find yourself grateful for if you take the moment to consider it. It could be your family are well. And these days that's something really to be grateful for. It could be that you've got a job that's still going, or that's even, showing signs of progressing. Or it could be that, you've got enough money in the bank that you don't have to worry for the immediate future. And then what about something else that is something that you're proud of? Okay, we're done with those. We're going to do some ankle rocks now. So remember these ones from the gym. You've got both feet planted firmly on the floor. We're going to rock forward and backwards a little bit. Just get those ankles moving. All right. So something that you're proud of could be, maybe you've hit 2 sessions at the gym in a week and you're really happy with that. That's good progress for you. Or it could be that, you know, you've one of your triggers that you usually go off on. It's quite often maybe a trigger for you to start a piece of behaviour that goes against your goals. So for me, it would be walking past the bakers and not going, oh, those donuts look nice, I'll have one of those. If I've managed to resist that temptation that day, that's something to be proud of. Okay, and then 10 on the other side. And then one other thing could be something that you've got excited about. That could be a really nice thing to project into the future. You think, okay, what am I excited about? Well, I'm meeting up with some friends sometime in the future. I've got that penciled into the diary. I'm really looking forward to getting out and being a bit sociable again in a responsible way. Or maybe you've got a holiday booked for next year or planning a holiday. That could be another thing. If you've got that to look forward to, you can just break the cycle of feeling a little bit kind of down and a bit demotivated and caught up in that comparison trap, like I say. Awesome. Okay, so listen, we're all warmed up. Hopefully you use those nicely warmed and stretched muscles for a good exercise plan today, whether it's going for a run, coming down to the gym or doing a home workout. I hope I'll see you soon. Take it easy and I'll take care.